Have another apple, Your Majesty.
Don't mind if I do, Albert. These apples are splendid, splendid. Wish we could grow them like this in Shillingshire, but these are from Piccadilly, are they not?
Yes, Sir Percival brought them back from Piccadilly on one of his quests.
If you eat any more of those, you'll have indigestion, Halfpenny. And you know what indigestion does to your disposition.
Just one more, my dear, just one more. Ah, delicious. I must say, our enemies in the kingdom of Piccadilly grow delicious apples. By the way, where's Lorraine?
I suspect that our fair daughter is walking in the garden with Sir Percival. I hope she doesn't catch a cold.
Sir Percival? Who's that?
Oh, heavens, Halfpenny. Sir Percival is one of your knights of the square table.
And the most handsome. Except for Sir Ferdinand.
Yes, my dear Guinevere, now that you mention it, I know him well. Charming fellow and a roaring lion in battle.
Sir, close the gates. Get the guards ready.
Now, Wilhelmina, now, Albert, it's not polite to laugh at another's misfortune. But at bodkin, Sir Waldo, you're about as graceful as a wounded bear.
Drat these floors. They're mighty treacherous for a man my age, especially when he's in a hurry.
What's the news, Sir, what's your name?
It's Sir Waldo, Halfpenny. You ought to know him. He's lived in the castle for a month. Your memory is just terrible.
Of course, Sir Waldo it is. Fine, fellow.
I have dreadful tidings, Your Majesty. Simply horrible.
These apples are the quintessence of juiciness. It's a pity they grow in the kingdom of Piccadilly.
I've been scouring the countryside for dragons and beastly elusive creatures there. I haven't come across one in weeks. Seems to be a definite dragon shortage in these parts.
Into every life some rain must fall, Sir Waldo.
Please get to the point, Sir Waldo.
I'm coming to it, Your Majesty. Being tired, dusty, and discouraged, I stopped at an inn not 10 miles from here. There I learned, and I shudder to say it, that Sir Belger Dynasty of Piccadilly has been terrorizing the people of Shillingshire for many months. He is now advancing on the castle with his band of cutthroats. He means to overthrow you, Your Majesty. I suggest that Your Majesty be certain that his castle's defenses are in order.
Oh, we're headed for calamity and catastrophe.
Not while the good knights at the square table are here to give battle to the evil Sir Belger Dynasty.
Bravely spoken, sir. What's your name?
Waldo.
Exactly. Only one thing left to do. I must call a meeting of the Knights of the Square Table immediately. Albert, fetch everyone. I'll keep the apples. They're positively superb.
I just hope we're not headed for calamity and catastrophe. Oh, drat, I'm so nervous I dropped my fan.
Be of good cheer, Your Majesty. With so many brave knights at hand, we'll be as safe as babes in their mother's arms.
The magician, Badimus, and Lady Crumpet.
Badimus, Lady Crumpet, Sir, what's his name? I have it on the tip of my tongue.
Sir Belger Dynasty, Your Majesty.
That's the fellow. He's on his way to attack the castle.
Ooh, did you want me to cast a spell to Your Majesty? I've learned quite a few new ones recently.
Sir Ferdinand, the poetic knight.
The pearl of chivalry.
All morning I've been searching for a rhyme for iced tea.
Try Sir Belvedere Day Nasty. He'll be here soon.
Thank you, Lady Crumpet. They may well do it.
Oh, Sir Ferdinand, you're so brilliant.
Yes, and I had all the plain living and high thinking.
Sir Percival and Princess Lorraine. I believe all are now present, Your Majesty. The other knights are on quest throughout the kingdom.
Oh, there are other knights? Splendid, I always say, there's safety in numbers.
Heavens, Halfpenny, we haven't much time.
These apples are absolutely mouth-watering. Meeting of the Knights of the Square Table will come to order. We will hear the Secretary's report.
Your Majesty, you forgot to appoint the Secretary at the last meeting.
Really, Haypenny, get Badamus to cast a spell so that your memory will improve.
And I'm just the man to do it. I have a spell guaranteed to give you a memory like an elephant's. Just look at me, Your Majesty. Now repeat after me. Wacko, Draco, Slacko.
Incredible, incredible. I feel my memory improving already. Badamus, you're an invaluable fellow.
When better spells are cast in the kingdom of Shillingshire, I will cast them.
Wacko. I forgot the rest. What were they?
Wacko, Draco, Slacko.
Naturally. Wacko, right?
Amazing.
And,
A little bird told me the other words are Draco and Slacko, Your Majesty.
of course, Draco Slacko.
Now, before you go to bed tonight, place a peach bit under your pillow.
That's if you can remember.
Oh, my dear Badamus, are you sure an apple core wouldn't do as well? I have a good supply of them.
For the proper spell, only a peach bit is appropriate.
Very well. Now, where were we?
You just called the meeting to order, Your Majesty.
I had? Yes, to be certain I had. We will hear the Secretary's report.
If I may speak in verse, Your Majesty, the absence of the Secretary is due to the fact that none was appointed by you.
How lovely.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Nothing like a good poem to make the morning brighter.
I suggest that we just omit the Secretary's report, Your Majesty.
Very well. But I do like these meetings to be done according to the rules. And speaking of meetings, what's the purpose of this one?
Your Majesty, Sir Belvedere Dynasty is advancing out of the castle.
Well, why didn't you say so? We must take action at once. The chair is open to suggestions.
I crave a boon, Your Majesty.
Granted, Sir...
Percival.
Granted,
Father.
Sir Percival.
Fellow Knights of the Square Table.
Really, Sir Percival. I have told you before, always refer to your colleagues as fellow squares.
Sorry, Your Majesty. Fellow Squares. I suggest that we take a particular aspect of the castle's defense. I shall man the wall with archers.
Good.
And I request that Wilhelmina boil plenty of oil in yonder cauldron. We'll pour it on the forces of Sir Belvedere Dynasty.
Ooh, there'll be a hot time in the old castle tonight. I'll bring the oil to a boil at once, Sir Percival. I always use one of Mother's old recipes.
I, too, crave a boon, Your Majesty.
Granted.
Fellow Knights of the... fellow Squares. I, too, shall fight with the heart of a tiger and the skill of a Lancelot.
That's my Ferdinand who said that.
In addition, I should be made official chronicler of the coming struggle, so that I may set down in deathless verse the valiant deeds that are soon to be performed for the glory of Shillingshire.
How lovely. Nothing like tear-jerking poem to make the morning brighter.
I crave a boon, Your Majesty.
Granted. My, the boons are flying fast and thick this morning.
Fellow Knights, of course, fellow Squares. Because of my intimate knowledge of surrounding courtside, gained in my perpetual search for dangerous dragons.
Now, Sir Waldo, you know no one has seen a dragon in these parts since one ate Lady Donut 2 years ago.
In view of my experience, I volunteered to leave the castle and to keep my eye out for the coming of the dastardly Sir Belvedere Dynasty and its insidious villains from Pickle. By doing so, I shall keep you all informed.
Sounds sensible. Very sensible. Permission granted.
Thank you, Majesty. Now, shall we about it at once?
Sir Waldo walks with ease through doors, but has his trouble with old floors. I, too, shall be off to my duties, but first I ask the aid of the muses to inspire us all.
My hero.
Beautiful. Touching. You're an example to us all.
Thank you.
Come, get a beer. We must speak to the vassals below and inspire their hearts to valor and victory.
I just hope we're not headed for calamity and catastrophe.
Fair princess, know that I shall fight a good fight with the memory of your lustrous eyes and ruby lips before me. In the ensuing battle, I ask to wear your favor. Ah, this is a banner bright enough to inspire me to great heights of chivalry and daring. and shall our forces win the day, by St. George and good King Halfpenny they shall. I intend to ask your hand in marriage.
Oh, Percival, how proud I am that you shall wear my favor. I am of all women in the world the most honored. And, dear Percival, my hand is yours, whenever you desire it.
I'll stir that foul brew for a while, Wilhelmina. You better go see if you can be of any help to the Queen.
Yes, Lady Trumpet. And perhaps I can catch a glimpse of wonderful Sir Ferdinand.
Ugh. Now that was a sickening little scene if I ever saw one. That bragging Percival and that simpery Lorraine make my blood boil.
Oh, don't be so hard on them, Lady Crumpet. Poor Sir Percival's not long for this world. And as for the Princess Lorraine, well, we know it's in her future.
Ah, yes. Sir Belvedere wants her for himself. Men are always easy marks for a pretty face. Why he wants her when I'm around, I'll never know. But who can tell what goes on in men's pointed little heads? You know what you're to do, don't you?
Of course. When the attack begins, I shall, with my customary cleverness, let down the drawbridge so Sir Belvedere and his cohorts may cross the moat. Halfpenny usually guards the bridge, but it'll be mere child's play to hoodwink him. I won't even have to cast a spell.
Save that stuff for the country boys, Badimus. You couldn't cast a spell across a 1-foot puddle. As a magician, you're only good for laughs.
Really, Lady Crumpet, I resent such talk.
That's your privilege. But you can give up all that foolish magic anyway as soon as Sir Belvedere seizes the castle. He'll be king of Shillingshire then, and we'll be rid of that bumbling idiot Halfpenny.
And I'll be Prime Minister. That's what Sir Belvedere promised me for my brilliant aid.
And I'll be a power in the kingdom too. There'll be some common sense around here for a change. What a joyful day that will be. Well, I know what I must do. I'll mix Princess Lorraine a sleeping potion and lock her in her bedroom. What she doesn't know won't hurt her.
You know, I've been thinking, what a furor would be caused if they knew the greatest secret of all. If they knew that Sir Belvedere...
Be quiet, you fool! Wilhelmina, I was just attempting to remove a shred of barley from Badimus's teeth.
You should be stirring the oil, Lady Crumpet. Mother always said the secret was in the stirring.
And Mother knows best. Come, Badimus. Let's leave the dear girl to her cooking chores.
Sir Belvedere and his men are now inside of the castle. Sir Percival saw them first.
And what is Sir Ferdinand?
The last I saw of him, he was busy writing.
He's the most brilliant knight in the world.
Yes, if pens and swords, he'd be a one-man army.
The oil! We're ready for the boiling oil!
The oil is bubbling and hot, Your Majesty.
Splendid. Albert, take the oil out to the oil pouring brigade.
I'll help.
Now let's see. There was something I was supposed to do. Ah, yes, the moat. Mighty important duty I have there.
Your Majesty, I've been gazing into my crystal ball, the one given to me by David Copperfield, the CEO of the Magician Society, and I saw a terrible thing.
Terrible?
Yes, it says in any case of danger, you must remain in this room. After all, your life is important to the welfare of Shillingshire. Here, I have an account of apple growing in Piccoli. Since you're soon to capture Piccoli and you're so fond of the country's apples, I thought you might want to look it over.
Indeed I would. Badimus, you're the most kindly and generous magician I've ever met. But drat, there was something I was supposed to do. Ah, yes, the moat.
Your Majesty, I'll be happy to guard the moat for you.
Anything for the glory and honor of Shillingshire, Badimus. Your loyalty is touching. Ah, yes. Pruning the trees regularly. That must be the secret.
Oh, how exciting the battle is. How nobly Sir Percival is directing the defenses of the castle.
Not to mention Sir Ferdinand. How amazing it is that he can write so well in the heat of battle.
I'm sure that the day will soon be ours. Sir Belvedere de Nasty and his evil men have been able to storm the walls of the castle.
Thanks to Mother's recipe.
And because the bridge over the moat is raised, the attackers cannot get into the castle. Our brave archers are sending arrows into the hides of our enemies.
Soil is important too. Must be the secret of their juiciness.
What in the world are you speaking about, Father?
Apple growing in Piccalilli, my dear. Clever people, those Piccalillians.
Princess Lorraine, you must be tired from all this perilous excitement. I've mixed a soothing potion for you.
Thank you, Lady Crumpet. You're most kind.
Yes, I have a heart as big as the world. Drink, my dear.
It's good, but there's a slightly bitter taste to it.
That's the secret of it. That's what'll bring roses to your cheeks.
They're attacking again, but we shall dry them up. Sir Percival is magnificent.
Of course.
Francis and Ferdinand, I'll turn you into a toad. Come back here.
Oh, my goodness.
Off of me. I didn't do anything. I'm innocent. I plead the fifth.
When bigger spells are made and cast, yours will be the worst and last. Your Majesty, I found this Malvet magician doing a terrible deed of treachery. He was lowering the drawbridge of the castle moat.
Oh, how vile!
Did any of the enemy cross the bridge?
Only one, Lady Crumpet. The leader, I believe. Yes, that dirty, dastardly, disgusting Sir Belvedere and Nasty.
Your Majesty, it's a terrible mistake. I was testing the bridge. Didn't want to make sure the chains weren't rusty.
And I shall test his rope for size and strength.
No! Why you? I'll cast 7 evil spells on all of you.
Princess Lorraine, what is... Oh my goodness!
Oh, God, no!
But why do our knights fight with each other?
Why indeed? Not going by the rules at all. Knights of the square table should be fair and square. By the way, who's that girl on the floor? Her face looks familiar.
That's your daughter, Your Majesty.
I shall put an end to this.
Not so fast. Make one false move, and Shilly-Shire will be without a king.
I say, Lady Crumpet, that's not at all friendly.
Oh my goodness, what's going on? Oh, a day of calamity and catastrophe.
I'll cast a spell and make you all wish you were somewhere else.
Oh, good show.
Are you all right, my king?
Splendid, but somewhat confused. And that's odd because my thinking's usually clear as a bell.
You miserable villain.
I yield.
But Sir Percival, why are you in battle with the fellow knight? And Lady Crumpet, why did you wish to stab your halfpenny?
That's the 64-shilling question.
I think I can explain. But what is this? Why is the fairest flower of Shillingshire in the horizontal position?
I believe I know. Lady Crumpet must have given her a sleeping potion!
Lady Crumpet, you're an evil woman. Sir Ferdinand, see if this cur does not escape.
You got it.
Awaken, pretty maiden. All is well, and the day is ours. Well, I have with me an ancient antidote that was given to me on my last crusade. It is guaranteed to awaken the sleeping and make loud the silent. The sleeping beauty is roused.
Oh. Percival, my brave knight, how happy I am to see you. Something was wrong with that drink you gave me.
My, you draw a quick conclusion.
Now let me explain. That knight is the trickster in the lowest order.
I deny everything. I refuse to comment on the grounds that...
Sir Waldo is merely that loathsome knight, Sir Belvedere de Nasty.
Oh my Sir Belvedere the Nasty! Oh, calamity and catastrophe!
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Oh my goodness.
If their plan had succeeded, Sir Belvedere would have been king.
And Lorraine would have been my queen.
Oh, horrible! A fate worse than death.
Fear not, sweet princess. Now without their master, Sir Belvedere's forces have retreated in wild disorder. Abracadabra, peanut butter jelly sandwiches. Let these girls be free.
A figure to the end, baddie miss. Why I ever joined forces with a half-wit like you, I'll never know.
Oh, shut up. With your permission, Your Majesty, I shall bring these evil trio to the castle dungeon where they shall rot and die.
Permission granted, Sir.
Percival, Father.
Permission granted, Sir Percival.
Albert, you can drag Batty along.
No, not the dungeon. There's rats in there. They have rabies, you know.
Oh, how lucky we are to have in our midst a knight so brave and commanding as Sir Percival.
Sir Ferdinand's not exactly a cream puff either.
But let us not forget Albert. I do believe we have been safely delivered from calamity and catastrophe.
Your Majesty, the evil three have been handed in to some of our most stalwart vassals.
Splendid.
A boon, Your Majesty.
Granted.
A poem in honor of this most auspicious occasion. An ode in honor of the fray that saved us from the shining day. Good Percival, long may he wave, in Shillingshire, strong and brave. May Albert win his just acclaim, honor and glory to his name. Good Percival, may he win the hand of the princess of this land. And yours truly, the poetic Ferd. I like these words now to be heard. He plights his troth to Wilhelmina. Then not girl who be Kina.
Beautiful, touching, tear-jerking, heartwarming. Nothing like a good poem to stir the heart. But now, we have other things to attend to. We must consider the methods of apple growing in Shillingshire and how we can improve them.
Father, do I have your permission to marry this goodly knight?
Certainly. Who is he?
Percival, Father.
Oh, sure. Good fellow. Glad to have him as a son-in-law.
And I, Your Majesty? May I marry this poetic knight?
Don't see why not. The more the merrier.
Blessings on you, my children.
Now, the meeting of the Knights of the Square Table will come to order. We will hear the Secretary's report.
Must we go through all that again, Haypenny?
My name is Kelly Clark, and I've been a student teacher here for this past quarter. I've been working with this class and other classes here at McGuanago High School. Today, I thank you very much for taking the time out of your classes to come down and view our performance. If you have time after the show, when you go back to your classroom, to write up a critique, how you liked the show, things that you liked about it, what you've been improved on, I would appreciate it. So if you sit back, relax, and enjoy the performance. Thank you.
another apple, Your Majesty.
Don't mind if I do, Albert. Don't mind if I do. These apples are splendid, splendid. These are from Shillingshire, are they not?
Actually, Sir Percival brought them back from Piccadilly on one of his quests.
Ah, yes. Just one more. Just one more. Ah, these are delicious. I must say, our enemies in the kingdom of Piccadilly grow delicious apples.
If you eat any more of those, you'll have indigestion, Halfpenny. And you know what indigestion does to disposition.
By the way, who is Sir Percival anyway?
Sir Percival is one of our knights of the square table. He's walking in the garden with our daughter, Lorraine. I hope she doesn't catch a cold.
You know, he's also one of the most handsome knights. Well, except for Sir Ferdinand.
Ah, yes. Now that you mention it, I know him well. Charming fellow and a roaring lion in battle.
Sir! Sir! Get the guards ready. Close the gate. We need to...
Now, Wilhelmina, now Albert, it's not polite to laugh at another's misfortunes. But I'd bodkin, Sir Waldo. You're about as graceful as a wounded bear.
Drat these floors. They're mighty treacherous for a man my age, especially when he's in a hurry.
What's the news, Sir, what's your name?
It's Sir Waldo Halfpenny. You ought to know him. He's lived in the castle now for a month. Your memory is just terrible.
Of course, Sir Waldo it is. Fine fellow.
I have dreadful tidings, Your Majesty. Simply horrible.
These apples are the quintessence of juiciness. It's a pity they grow in the kingdom of Piccadilly.
I've been scouring the countryside for dragons and beastly elusive creatures there. I haven't come across one in one. Seems to be a definite dragon shortage in these parts.
Into every life some rain must fall, Sir Waldo.
Please get to the point, Sir Waldo.
I'm coming to it, Your Majesty. Being tired, dusty, and discouraged, I stopped at an inn not 10 miles from here. There I learned, and I shudder to say it, that Sir Belgrade Dynasty of Piccadilly has been terrorizing the people of Shillingshire for many months.
No.
He is now advancing onto the castle with his band of cutthroats. He means to overthrow you, Your Majesty. I suggest that Your Majesty be certain that his castle's defenses are in order.
Oh dear, we're headed for calamity and catastrophe.
Not while the good knights of the square table are here to give battle to the evil Sir Belgrade Dynasty.
Bravely spoken, Sir, what's your name?
Waldo.
Exactly. There's only one thing left to do. I must call a meeting of the Knights of the Square Table immediately. Albert, fetch everyone. I'll keep the apples. They're positively superb.
I just hope we're not headed for calamity and catastrophe. Oh, drat, I'm so nervous I dropped my fan.
Be of good cheer, Your Majesty. With so many brave knights at hand, we'll be as safe as babes in their mother's arms.
The magician, Badimus, and Lady Crumpet.
Badimus, Lady Crumpet, Sir, what's his name? I have it on the tip of my tongue.
Sir Belgrade Dynasty, Your Majesty.
That's the fellow. He's on his way to attack the castle.
Did you want me to cast a spell, Your Majesty? I've learned quite a few new ones recently.
Sir Ferdinand, the poetic knight.
The pearl of chivalry.
All morning I've been searching for a rhyme for iced tea.
Try Sir Belvedere Day Nasty. He'll be here soon.
Thank you, Lady Crumpet. They may well do it.
Oh, Sir Ferdinand, you're so brilliant.
Yes, and I owe all the plain living and high thinking.
Sir Percival and Princess Lorraine. I believe all are now present, Your Majesty. The other knights are busy on quest throughout the kingdom.
Oh, there are other knights? Splendid. I always say there's safety in numbers.
Heavens, Halfpenny, we haven't much time. Get on with the business.
Very well. Meeting of the Knights of the Square Table will come to order. We will hear the Secretary's report.
Your Majesty, you forgot to appoint a secretary at the last meeting.
Really, Halfpenny, give Badimus to cast a spell on your memory so that your memory will improve.
And I'm just the man to do it. I have a spell guaranteed to give you the memory of an elephant. Just look at me, Your Majesty. Now repeat after me. Wacko, tracko, slacko.
Incredible, incredible. I feel my memory improving already. Badimus, you're an invaluable fellow.
When better spells are cast in the kingdom of Shillingshire, I will cast them.
I'm certain you will. Wacko. I forgot the rest of the words. What were they?
They're wacko, tracko, slacko.
Of course. Wacko, right?
Amazing.
And,
A little bird told me the other words are Draco and Slacko, Your Majesty.
naturally, Draco Slacko.
Now, before you go to bed tonight, place a peach pit under your pillow.
That's if you can remember.
Oh, my dear Badamus, are you sure an apple core wouldn't do? I have a good supply of them.
For the proper spell, only a peach pit is appropriate.
Very well. Now, where were we?
You've just called the meeting to order, Your Majesty.
I had? Just to be certain I had. We will hear the Secretary's report.
If I may speak in verse, Your Majesty, the absence of the Secretary is due to the fact that none was appointed by you.
Oh, how lovely.
Beautiful, beautiful. Nothing like a good poem to stir the heart in the morning.
I suggest that we just omit the Secretary's report.
Very well, sir.
Percival, Father.
Very well, Sir Percival. But I do like these meetings to be conducted according to the rules. And speaking of meetings, what's the purpose of this one?
Your Majesty, Sir Belvedere asked you is advancing onto the castle with his band of cohort.
No, it's not nasty.
Well, why didn't you say so? We must take action at once. The chair is open to suggestions.
I crave a boon, Your Majesty.
Granted, Sir.
Percival, Father.
Granted, Sir Percival.
Fellow knights of the square table.
Really, Sir Percival. I have told you before, always refer to your colleagues as fellow squares.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty. Fellow squares. I suggest that we take a particular aspect of the castle's defense. I shall, example, man the wall with archers.
Good.
And I request that Wilhelmina boil plenty of oil in yonder cauldron. We'll pour it on the forces of Sir Belvedere dynasty.
Ooh, there'll be a hot time in the old castle tonight.
I'll bring the oil to a boil at once, Sir Percival. I always use one of Mother's old recipes.
I, too, crave a boon, Your Majesty.
Granted.
Fellow knights of the... fellow squares. I should fight with the heart of a tiger and the skill of a Lancelot.
That's my Ferdinand who said that.
In addition, I should be made official chronicler of the coming struggle, so I may set down in deathless verse the valiant deeds that are soon to be performed for the glory of Shillingshire.
Oh, that's wonderful. Hear, hear.
Splendid.
I crave a boon, Your Majesty.
My, the boons are flying fast and thick this morning. Granted.
Fellow knights, of course, fellow squares. Because of my intimate knowledge of surrounding courts, I gained by my perpetual search for dangerous dragons.
Now, Sir Waldo, you know no one has seen a dragon in these parts since one ate Lady Donut 2 years ago.
In view of my experience, I volunteered to leave the castle and to keep my eye out for the coming of the dastardly Sir Belvedere dynasty and his insidious villains from Piccolo. By doing so, I shall keep you all informed.
Sounds sensible. Very sensible. Permission granted.
Thank you, Your Majesty. And I shall be about it at once. Someday I'll hurt myself.
Sir Waldo walks with ease through doors, but has his trouble with old floors. I, too, shall be off to my duties, but first I ask the aid of the muses to inspire us all.
My hero.
Beautiful. Touching. You're an example to us all.
Thank you.
Come, get a beer. We must speak to the vassals below and inspire their hearts to valor and victory.
I just hope we're not headed for calamity and catastrophe.
Fair princess, know that I shall fight a good fight with the memory of your lustrous eyes and ruby lips before me. In the ensuing battle, I ask to wear your favor. Ah, this is a banner bright enough to inspire me to great heights of chivalry and daring. And shall our forces win the day, by St. George and good King Halfpenny, they shall. I intend to ask your hand in marriage.
Oh, Percival. My goodly knight, how proud I am that you shall wear my favor. I am of all women in the world the most honored. And, dear Percival, my hand is yours, whenever you desire it.
I'll stir that foul brew for a while, Wilhelmina. You better go see if you can be of any help to the queen.
Yes, Lady Crumpet. And perhaps I can catch a glimpse of wonderful Sir Ferdinand.
Now that was a sickening little scene if I ever saw one. That bragging Percival and that simpering Lorraine make my blood boil.
Don't be so hard on them, Lady Crumpets. Poor Sir Percival's not long for this world. As for the Princess Lorraine, well, we know it's in her future.
Ah, yes. Sir Belvedere wants her for himself. Men are always easy marks for a pretty face. Why he wants her when I'm around, I'll never know. But who can tell what goes on in men's pointed little heads? Anyway, we know what war to do, don't we?
Of course. When the attack begins, I shall, with my customary cleverness, let down the drawbridge so Sir Belvedere and his cohorts may cross the moat. Halfpenny usually guards the bridge, but it'll be mere child's play to hoodwink him. I won't even have to cast a spell.
Save that stuff for the country boys, fatty miss. You couldn't cast a spell across a 1-foot puddle. As a magician, you're only good for laughs.
Really, Lady Crumpet, I resent such talk.
That's your privilege, but you can give up all that foolish magic once Sir Belvedere seizes the castle. He'll be king of Shillingshire then, and we'll be rid of that bumbling idiot Halfpenny.
And I'll be prime minister. That's what Sir Belvedere promised me for my brilliant aid.
And I'll be a power in the kingdom too. There'll be some common sense around here for a change. Well, what a joyful day that will be. Well, I know what I must do. I'll mix Princess Lorraine a sleeping potion and lock her in her bedroom. What she doesn't know can't hurt her.
You know, I've been thinking, what a furor would be caused if they knew the greatest secret of all. If they knew that Sir Belvedere...
Be quiet, you fool! Wilhelmina, I was just attempting to remove a shred of barley from Batty Miss's teeth.
You should be stirring the oil, Lady Crumpet. Mother always said the secret was in the stirring.
And Mother knows best. Come, Batty Miss. Let's leave your child to her cooking chores.
Sir Belvedere and his men are now inside of the castle. Sir Percival saw them first.
And what is Sir Ferdinand?
The last I saw of him, he was busy writing.
He's the most brilliant knight in the world.
Yes, if pens or swords, he'd be a one-man army.
The oil! We're ready for the boiling oil!
The oil is bubbling and hot, Your Majesty.
Splendid. Albert, fetch the oil and take it to the oil pouring brigade.
I'll help.
Now, let's see. There was something I was supposed to do. Ah, yes, the moat. Mighty important duty I have there.
Your Majesty, I've been gazing into my crystal ball. The one given to me by David Copperfield, the CEO of the Magician Society. And I saw a terrible thing.
Terrible?
Yes, it says in any case of danger, you must stay in this room. After all, your life is important to the welfare of Shillingshire. Here, I have an account of apple growing in Piccoli. Since you'll soon capture Piccoli and you're so fond of the country's apples, I thought you might learn a little bit more about it.
My Batimus, you're the most kindly and generous magician I've ever known. But drat, there was something I was supposed to do. Ah, yes, the moat.
Your Majesty, I'll be happy to guard the moat for you.
Anything for the glory and honor of Shillingshire, Batimus. Your loyalty is touching. Ah, yes. Pruning the trees regularly. That must be the secret.
Oh, how exciting the battle is, and how nobly Sir Percival is directing the defenses of the castle.
Not to mention Sir Ferdinand. How amazing it is that he can write so well in the heat of battle.
I'm sure that the day will soon be ours. Sir Belvedere de Nasty and his evil men have been unable to storm the walls of the castle.
Thanks to Mother's recipe.
And because the bridge over the moat is raised, the attackers cannot get into the castle. Our brave archers are sending arrows into the hides of our enemies.
Soil is important, too. Must be the secret of their juiciness.
What in the world are you speaking about, Father?
Apple growing, my dear. Apple growing in the kingdom of Piccalilli. Clever people, those Piccalillians.
Princess Lorraine, you must be tired from all this perilous excitement. I've mixed you a soothing potion.
Thank you, Lady Crumpet. You are most kind.
Yes, I have a heart as big as the world. Drink, my dear.
It's good, but there's a slightly bitter taste to it.
Yes, that's the secret to it. That's what'll bring roses to your cheeks.
They're attacking again! But we can drag them off! Sir Percival is magnificent!
Of course.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't do nothing.
You're a traitor.
I plead the
spells are made and cast. Yours will be the worst and last. Your Majesty, I found this malevolent magician doing a terrible deed of treachery. He was lowering the drawbridge of the castle moat.
Oh, how vile! Did any of the enemy cross the bridge?
Only one, Lady Crumpet. The leader, I believe. Yes, that dirty, dastardly, disgusting Sir Belvedere the Nasty.
Your Majesty, this is a terrible mistake. I was testing the bridge. You want to make sure the chains weren't rusty.
And I shall test its rope for size and strength.
No, 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 no. I'll cast 7 evil spells on all of you.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, God, no!
But why do our knights fight with each other?
Why indeed? Knights of the Square Table are supposed to be fair and square. By the way, who's that girl on the floor? Her face looks familiar.
That's your daughter, Your Majesty.
I shall put an end to this.
Not so fast. Make one more move and Shillingshire will be without a king.
I say, Lady Crumpet, that's not at all friendly.
What's going on? Oh, a day of calamity and catastrophe.
I'll cast a spell that'll make you all wish you were somewhere else.
Oh, good show.
Are you all right, my king?
Splendid, but somewhat confused, and that's odd because my thinking's usually clear as a bell.
Yield, you miserable villain!
I yield.
Sir Percival, why are you in battle with a fellow knight? And Lady Crumpet, why did you wish to stab dear Halfpenny?
That's the 64-shilling question.
I think I can explain. But what is this? Why is the first flower of Shillingshire in the horizontal position?
I believe that I know. Lady Crumpet must have given her a sleeping potion.
Lady Crumpet, you're an evil woman. Mother warned me about people like you in the world. Sir Ferdinand, see if this cur does not escape.
You got it.
Awaken, pretty maiden. All is well, and the day is ours. Well, I have with me an ancient antidote that was given to me on my last crusade. It is guaranteed to awaken the sleeping and make loud the silent. Sleeping Beauty is roused.
I want to ride the pony.
Princess Lorraine, it is I, Sir Percival.
Oh, Percival, my brave knight. How happy I am to see you. Something was wrong with that potion you gave me.
My, you draw a quick conclusion.
Now let me explain. That knight is a trickster of the lowest order.
I deny everything. I refuse to comment on the grounds that...
No, Sir Waldo is merely that loathsome knight, Sir Belvedere the Nasty, particularly.
Sir Belvedere the Nasty! Oh, calamity and catastrophe.
He was able to cross the drawbridge before Sir Ferdinand discovered Banimus's treachery. If their plan had succeeded, Sir Belvedere would have been king.
And Lorraine would have been my queen.
Oh, horrible! A fate worse than death.
With your permission, Your Majesty, I shall escort these three into the dungeon where they shall rot and die.
Permission granted, Sir... Percival, right?
Yes.
Permission granted, Sir Percival.
Albert, you drag Banimus along.
With pleasure. No, not the dungeon. Please. No, there's rats down there. They give you rabies. No.
How lucky we are to have in our midst a knight so brave and commanding as Sir Percival.
Sir Ferdinand isn't exactly a cream puff either.
Let us not forget Albert. I do believe we've been saved from calamity and catastrophe.
Your Majesty, they have been handed in to some of our most stalwart vassals.
Good.
A boon, Your Majesty.
Granted.
I think a poem in honor of this most auspicious occasion. An ode in honor of the fray that saved us from this shining day. Good Percival, long may he wave, in Shillingshire, strong and brave. May Albert win his just acclaim, honor and glory to his name. Good Percival, may he win the hand of the princess of this land. And yours truly, poetic Ferd, I'd like these words now to be heard. He plights his troth to Wilhelmina. Zina, then no girl who be Kina.
Beautiful, touching, heartwarming. a poem to stir the heart. There's only one thing we must do now. We must consider the apple growing in Shillingshire. Must have a meeting at once.
Father, do I have your permission to marry this goodly knight?
Certainly. Who is he?
Percival, Father.
Glad to have him as a son-in-law. He's a fine fellow.
And I, Your Majesty, may I marry this poetic knight?
Don't see why not. The more the merrier.
Oh, the blessings on you, my children.
Now, we'll call a meeting of the Knights of the Square Table.
Hey, Penny, must we go through all that again?
Miss Clark.
I guess we'd just like to say thanks for putting up with us and, you know, teaching us some good acting and stuff, and these are for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Val.
Thank you for taking the time to come and watch the performance today. You can head back to class. If you have a few moments to write down what you thought of the show, I would appreciate it. Thank you.